Relationships are complex, but what if a single number could predict their failure rate?
Studies show that a 20-year age gap brings a staggering 95% chance of separation. Why do we ignore such brutal odds? Is it true love or a transaction disguised as romance? Let's uncover the brutal truth. This is Age Gap Relationships, the brutal truth. We'll break down the two most common dynamics, starting with the classic tale, the older man and the younger woman. The first major hurdle is the sugar daddy stereotype. Is his wallet the main attraction? This dynamic creates a power imbalance where affection feels conditional, almost like a transaction. Genuine connection struggles to grow when one person is a provider and the other a recipient. When financial support is the foundation, the relationship is built on shaky ground, not mutual respect. The power dynamic becomes transactional, creating resentment and insecurity for both partners.
But money is just the most obvious issue. The real chasm lies in life experience. He's navigated decades of life's twists and turns. He's lived through chapters she hasn't even started reading.
Her view of the future is optimistic and linear, while his is nuanced by experience and past failures. This maturity gap affects everything. He might seek quiet evenings, while she craves loud, vibrant nights out. His priorities are often centered around stability, legacy, and preparing for the final phase of life. Her priorities are about exploration, building a career, and discovering who she is. These aren't just different goals, they are fundamentally different worlds. And now for the most brutal truth of this dynamic.
The unspoken fear of her expiration date.
When her youthful looks begin to fade, what is left? Is the foundation of the relationship strong enough to survive? This fear can create deep insecurity for her and a wandering eye for him, a ticking time bomb for the relationship.
She may feel immense pressure to maintain her beauty, fighting a battle against time that she cannot win.
He, consciously or not, may start looking for the next youthful replacement as she begins to age.
Beyond the physical, even simple conversation becomes a minefield of generational gaps.
Their cultural references, from music and movies to political events, rarely align, creating a sense of disconnect. Social circles rarely merge. She may feel like a child among his peers, and he, an out-of-touch relic with hers. And let's not forget the physical energy gap. As he naturally slows down, her desire for adventure is just hitting its peak. The core issue is a potential lack of a shared future. Their life timelines are moving in opposite directions.
But this is only half the story. What happens when the roles are reversed?
Now, we explore the equally complex, and often more scrutinized, world of the younger man and the older woman.
Here, we encounter the cougar dynamic, a term loaded with societal judgment.
Society often unfairly labels the woman as predatory, while the man is seen as having lucked out. This double standard places immense external pressure on the relationship from the very beginning. But the social stigma is nothing compared to the non-negotiable, biological reality they must face.
The biological clock. For the older woman, its ticking is deafening. She may be on her last chance to have children, or that window may have already closed forever.
He, on the other hand, is likely years or even decades away from seriously considering fatherhood. This isn't simple disagreement. It is a fundamental divergence of life paths, one of the biggest deal breakers a couple can face.
She needs to know if he's on board with family life now, not in a hypothetical future. He feels immense pressure to commit to a life he hasn't had the chance to even consider yet.
This single issue can create a constant, underlying tension that poisons even the happiest moments. It forces an ultimatum. Either he commits prematurely or she gives up a lifelong dream. Both paths lead to resentment. Beyond the baby question, the power dynamic in these relationships is often flipped. She is typically more established in her career, financially secure, and owns her own home. While this may seem like a benefit, it can trigger deep-seated feelings of inadequacy for the younger man. He may feel like he isn't contributing enough, becoming a kept man rather than an equal partner. This financial disparity often reflects a difference in life goals. She has arrived, he is just beginning the journey. She wants to settle, to enjoy the fruits of her labor. She's in a season of maintenance.
He needs to build, to hustle, to take risks, and prove himself to the world. He's in a season of growth.
This settler versus builder dynamic creates constant friction. Her peace feels like his stagnation. His ambition feels like a disruption to her hard-won tranquility. Their definitions of a good life are at odds. Again, the social circle problem emerges. When she's with his friends, she can feel less like a partner and more like a chaperone.
He has to constantly fend off insensitive jokes and questions from peers who don't understand the relationship.
This creates a painful chone for him. Defend his partner and potentially isolate himself, or quietly endure the mockery. So we see two very different scenarios, yet they share common themes: power imbalances and conflicting life stages. This raises the most important question. How can you tell if the connection is genuine or purely transactional? First, ask the subtraction question. If the older partner lost their wealth, would she stay? If the answer is yes, you have a foundation of genuine affection.
If no, the relationship was a contract, and the terms have just been breached.
Conversely, if the older woman's beauty fades, will the younger man's admiration and desire remain? If he stays and cherishes her for who she is, the bond is likely genuine.
If he leaves, he wasn't in love with her, but with the fantasy of dating an older woman.
Second, look beyond superficial interests. Do you share the same core values?
Values are the bedrock: honesty, ambition, the importance of family, financial discipline. Do your fundamental worldviews align?
If one partner values risk and adventure, while the other craves security and routine, constant conflict is guaranteed. Third, be brutally honest about the power dynamic. Is it balanced? Power isn't just money. In the older man, younger woman dynamic, his financial power is often balanced by her youth power. In the reverse, her stability and life experience is balanced by his youth and vitality. The question is this a healthy trade? Basing a relationship on a trade, any trade, is risky because the value of those assets changes over time. A genuine partnership strives for equality, where both feel respected for who they are, not what they provide. Finally, we have to talk about the massive societal double standard. An older man with a younger woman is often seen as a status symbol. He's a silver fox, a success. He's seen as winning a prize. The dynamic is so common, it's a normalized, almost celebrated cliché.
But when the roles are reversed, the judgment is harsh and immediate.
She's seen as desperate, trying to recapture her youth. He's seen as confused, lost, or being taken advantage of. This intense scrutiny adds a layer of us against the world stress that the other dynamic rarely has to face. This brings us back to the statistic from the beginning. Why, regardless of the dynamic, do these relationships have a lower success rate? The number one reason, compounding all the issues we've discussed, is the simple, unstoppable passage of time.
As the years go by, the initial differences in life stage don't shrink, they expand. A 10-year gap between 30 and 40 is one thing. That same gap between 65 and 75 is a completely different world.
Health, energy levels, and mobility become major factors. The relationship dynamic can shift from partnership to caregiving. The younger partner can prematurely become a full-time caregiver, a role they never signed up for. They watch their peers enjoy the prime of their lives, while they are bound by duty and responsibility. This sacrifice, whether spoken or unspoken, breeds a deep resentment that is often the ultimate relationship killer.
So, does this mean every age gap relationship is doomed to fail?
No, of course not. Statistics are trends, not certainties. There are many successful, loving age gap couples who defy the odds. But they are the exception, not the rule. The key to their success is almost always the same: radical self-awareness and communication. They don't ignore these brutal truths. They confront them head-on, with open eyes, before committing. So before you enter an age gap relationship, you must be honest with yourself.
For the younger woman, are you genuinely attracted to him as a person? Or are you attracted to the stability, security, and father figure role he represents? For the younger man, are you genuinely attracted to her wisdom, personality, and spirit?
Justly. Or is it the thrill of dating an experienced cougar and the status that comes with it? For both, are you truly prepared for the physical realities of aging? To potentially become a caregiver in your 40s or 50s? Are you prepared to give up the dream of biological children? Or to raise them with a partner who has the energy of a grandparent? Answering these questions with brutal honesty is not pessimistic. It is the most crucial act of realism you can perform. To summarize, the risks are clear: transactional dynamics, mismatched life goals, harsh social judgment. Ignoring these fundamental incompatibilities is precisely why the statistics are so unforgiving. But for the couples who succeed, it's because they don't ignore the gap. They build a bridge across it.
A bridge founded on shared core values, deep mutual respect, and constant, radical communication. Their love isn't a transaction. It's a true partnership that makes the age gap an irrelevant detail. Because in the end, the success of any relationship is measured by the quality of the connection, not the numbers on a birth certificate. What are your thoughts and experiences with age gap relationships? Do you believe they can work long-term?
Share your story, respectfully, in the comments below. Let's continue the conversation.